Welcome back to another episode of DIY with Big Dude Little Rod. Many of you know this is a three-way swivel, meant mainly for plunking for salmon, steelhead, or whatever you want to plunk for. And all of you who know, these are a major pain in the ass, especially when it comes to casting. Your bait will get wrapped around everything it comes near. So I'm going to show you guys how to make a cheap, inexpensive, but really strong T-turn swivels. For this DIY, you're going to need a few tools. 2 pairs of needle nose pliers, the smaller the better. A pair of wire cutters, wire, 3 small beads, and 2 swivels. Now, this is super cheap if you already have the tools, obviously. This wire you can get at Harbor Freight. It's 25 feet of wire for 99 cents. These beads you can get at the Dollar Tree, and it comes in a big pack with multiple different sizes. I'm obviously using the smallest ones. And then, as you know, any store that sells fishing gear will sell you swivels. So let's get started. Alright, so cut yourself 11 inches of wire. Grab your 2 cut ends. Make sure they meet evenly. Pinch all the way down till you get to the end. Should have something like that. Take your pliers, give yourself about 1/4 of an inch, pinch it together so you'll have something like that. My camera's not going to focus on it, but oh, come on, stupid. Well, anyway, you get the gist. So go back to your cut ends, and you're going to feed your bead through both parts, all the way down to that, and then pull them apart like that, so you have something like that. Now use your pliers, grab onto that little piece you left sticking outside your bead on that side, and then just twist. Doesn't have to be super tight, but the tighter the better, until you get your desired length. Right. So once you get to this point, you want the top and the bottom to be at least 1.5 to 2 inches long. This here is 2.5 inches long, so it's going to stick 2.5. So whatever bait you have is going to be about 2.5 inches away from the line hanging from here, or your weight, so it's less likely to get tangled up. So what we do from here is we add a bead to this. Okay, and then get your about halfway point, bend it over. Okay, so you'll have it something like that. Now you see how this piece goes past that bead. You're going to want to take your wire cutters and cut it just below the bead. I gotta get new wire cutters. Now, with that cut, you take your swivel, put it on there, let it hang to the bottom, push this piece in there, push it into the bead, bring your bead down, pinch the end so it'll go down as far as it can go. Now you got that. Now, same process as up here. Separate these two and start twisting. This point where you got a little tiny nub here and a lot extra here, it's going to start to hurt your hands. That's where your second pair of pliers comes in handy. So always make sure that the wires are bent out about 45 degrees. You don't want one straight, and otherwise you're just going to wrap around one wire, and to me that doesn't seem very stable or sturdy. So grab your second pair of pliers, go like this, grab both ends, and twist. Now, you don't need to twist much more than that, because what you're going to do with this, you're going to bend this up and pinch it underneath. I don't know if it'll cooperate with me. I'm going to pinch this little extra tab up underneath your bead. two things happen. Mainly it locks it there so it won't slip out here, and it also locks your bead in place so it won't slide down. This one will probably slide down if you mess with it enough. Actually, that one's not moving very much unless I twist it to go down. But yeah, so you end it like that, and then you do the other side. Don't forget to always put your bead on first before you bend your end over. Alright, ladies and gents, there she is. Just tie your main line to one swivel, your weight line to another, and you're good to go. Not going to get tangled up as easy on casts. Not going to get any line twist. Now, if you're fishing for smaller fish, say bass or trout, I mean, I don't know if you'd use a plunking rig for those smaller fish, but if you are a person that does, you don't really need these swivels. The bass, the trout, the whatever you're plunking for that's a smaller fish isn't going to make enough line twist to matter. However, if you're like me and you're going to use these for plunking for Chinook or coho or steelhead, you definitely want those swivels. Those fish will fight you for 30 minutes and twist the shit out of your line. The last thing you want to have is get it to the bank and it does one more roll and your line snaps because it got too twisted. Coming up right after this, I am going to show you a strength test with my fish weight. Alright, so I got that tied to a nail. I had to put split rings on there because I couldn't tie the paracord through the eye of the barrel swivel. I had to put a split ring there because it wouldn't, that little hook wouldn't fit through the barrel of that, or through the hole of that barrel swivel. And now, well, it's going to be a little janky. Alright, so pulling. Don't know how much I'm going to get to pull. There's 20. Little bit of deforming, but just bend that back and you're good to go. Here is a simulation of what happens to that T-turn swivel when a big fish gets on it. See, 25 pounds, not budging. Oh, here we go. There's the 25. Not moving at all. Obviously, once you get done fighting that big beast, all you gotta do, bend that back up, you're ready for your next cast. I mean, I'd fix that little loop, but you know what I'm saying. So like I said, get your pliers, get some focus here. Get your pliers, straighten it out, you're good to go for a second round. So I mean, unless you plan on throwing 25 pounds worth of weight from this end to this end, you're kind of screwed. But if you're fighting a 25 pound fish, this guy will work for you. Probably could pull more, I just was only using one hand because I have to record with the other. But next time I get a friend here that can record for me, I'll do a higher test on it and see if I can get it up to 35, 40. Alright guys, so now you know how to make your own T-turn swivels. Don't waste money going to pay 10 bucks for 3 when you can pay, I don't know, maybe $5 and make 25 of them if you're using that 11 inches of wire each time. And I mean, that Dollar Tree beads comes with a lot of those beads. You can even use the bigger ones if you'd like. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for joining me again on Big Dude Little Rod.